Well, hello, it's me, Derrick. And I told you guys that I was going to start doing a blog about my life and my journey. And a lot of people have been following me for a long time when it comes to ministry. And I decided, a couple of years ago that I was going to open up my life and be transparent with people about what life and ministry is really like. And recently, I decided to open up even more and go into what it's like on more of a personal level with me on something I've struggled with for many years, and that's my weight. Obviously, you're looking at me now and you understand that I've got a weight problem, and I've had a weight problem all my life. I was born big. I was always big, even at my healthiest when I was a football player and a fighter and all these different things. I was still big. And so when I stopped doing those things, when I got my life cleaned up 16 years ago, I stopped doing drugs. It just went, whoosh, the weight just came on like a flood. And so I basically spent 16 years just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. Well, a year ago in February, I almost died. I was in ICU, and they basically told me that I was dying. And it inspired me to get healthy. And so I went through some eating changes and some different things, and it just wasn't allowing me to lose the kind of weight that I needed to be able to lose to be able to start exercising again and getting into the gym, because my knees are shot from just the life that I've lived and being so heavy. And so my doctor recommended that I get a weight loss surgery. And this is pretty controversial for people because a lot of people think that it's the easy way out, or for some reason that I think that that's a magic pill or something like that. I've received a lot of hate mail, but that was part of me being transparent. I could have just got the surgery done and not told anybody, but I wanted you to see the journey that I'm taking and the trials and the tribulations that are involved in this part of my life, to make myself healthier for God, make myself healthier for my family, my children, my wife, and make myself healthier for me, and how important that was. So I went to the weight loss surgeon, and I was kind of surprised, kind of not surprised when he told me, he said, look, you kind of have two choices here. You can get the surgery done, or you can have 5 years left to live. And man, did that ever put it in perspective for me. You know, when you hear that you have 5 years left to live, it really sums it up, right? After it. So my wife and I prayed about it, and we just thought that it was worth the risk. And when I say worth the risk, you gotta understand that the gastric sleeve surgery, which is what I have, has become kind of the go-to weight loss surgery for people. But I'm much larger of a person than usually gets it. I'm 6'4", and at the day that I weighed in at the weight loss clinic to begin, I was 585 pounds, which I was down because a year ago when I was in the hospital in ICU, I was 675 pounds. But that puts my BMI, body mass index, really high, and usually they don't do surgery on people my size unless it's a specialty hospital, and there's not a whole lot of those around. But luckily enough, like the only one in the Midwest that will do somebody my size is literally right here in Kansas City. So I got really, really lucky with that. But with my size, the risk level goes way up. And so basically, 1 out of 10 people can die that are my size from getting the surgery done. And man, when you start to think about those things, like, man, I got a family, I got my kids, I want to see my kids, and is it really worth the risk? But here's the reality. What's the next 5 years going to be like if I just keep getting worse? You know, what's the next 5 years going to look like if I can't get out of my bed or out of my chair because I've gained so much weight and my knees are so bad, and I don't want my kids to see me like that. You know, I don't want my son to see me just die sitting in a chair because I can't move. And so we decided to go after it. it was really interesting, the process I had to go through. Because I'm in such poor health. We had to do all kinds of testing, and I got a really awesome hospital in Kansas City, minimally invasive surgical hospital, MISH, and Dr. K, Dr. S. They both the surgeons took really, really good care of me, but they just wanted to make sure I was tip top to be able to do it because of my size. And so I had to have heart tests done and scopes done and all these different things, ultrasounds of my heart, my legs, and different things. And so after about a month of testing, they approved me for the surgery. And so on, March 22nd, I went in at 7 a.m. and I had the gastric sleeve done. Now, what happened during the process was pretty strange. And for that, actually, I had to do 10 days of a liquid fast. So that was interesting, 10 days of having nothing but liquid. So remember when I weighed in at the beginning at the weight loss clinic, I weighed 585 pounds. When I weighed in the day of surgery, I had already lost quite a bit. I was down to 555, which those of you in the Christian world, that's triple grace. Bam. I just should have known it was going to be fine then. So then went in for surgery. Now the surgery was interesting because they have a really hard time getting IVs into me. Because I'm sleeved up and tattooed, they have these vein finders that don't work on me. It just shows the outline of my veins. And my veins are deep and they roll and all this different stuff. So usually there's like 3 people that are trying to get IVs in me at the same time. And it's just ridiculous. And it took them about an hour that morning to get an IV in. And they finally got it in. They got me back to surgery. And then the scariest thing happened in the world, which was I woke up on the surgery table. I don't know exactly what was happening, but I know this, is that for some reason my tonsils have grown back. I had them taken out when I was younger, but they grew back. And so when they went to put the scope down my throat to where they could see the inside of my stomach, they couldn't get the camera past my tonsils. Now, the crazy thing was happening, they give you that medicine that paralyzes your body. And so I was completely paralyzed, couldn't move, couldn't say anything, couldn't move my eyes, but I was awake. And that unit that they put into my throat, it blocked my air passage, so I was suffocating. I couldn't breathe and I couldn't move. Let me tell you something. It may have been the absolute most terrifying thing I've ever had happen in my life because I couldn't do anything about it. There was nothing I could do. Now, to me, it seemed like it lasted forever. It probably was 5 or 10 seconds. I don't know, maybe not even that. Because, they're good. They know what they're doing. They brought me out of it. My eyes popped open. They're like, whoa, there he is. He's awake. And because of the situation with my tonsils and everything, for some reason, I don't know, because I was halfway out of it, they wanted to put it down my throat while I was still awake. So, okay, so, sorry, I got interrupted. A bunch of people showed up to the church where I'm filming, and so if the lighting looks a little bit different and everything looks a little bit different, it's because it's different. So, anyway, so they get the scope down my throat. It's a really risky surgery. I know I told you that. You know what? So the gastric sleeve is what I was telling you about. It sounds like it's something that they put in you, like what they would think of as a lap band, but actually it's not. It's actually where they take your stomach and, well, you know what? I think the best thing is for me to actually show you a picture of it. So I'm going to actually do a picture. Okay, so here's me. I'm pretty, aren't I? Here's my stomach in here. Here's my throat. Here's my guts, whatever those things are called, intestines. So what they do is they come in and they cut me here, 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 and then they stick this thing into me, and what they do is they cut all of this out. And they take all this out, they pull it all the way out through one of these things, and it leaves me this little bit of a sleeve for a stomach. And that is the gastric sleeve. That's it. So that's the gastric sleeve. So now I'm left with this little sleeve, and the surgery went good. The worst part about it for me, guys, was I was really sick because what was supposed to be like an hour and a half turned into like 5 hours because I'm a bigger guy and because of the scope thing, and so they had me under a lot longer. The anesthesia made me really ill, so for like 12 hours I was really, really nauseous. But after that, I've really had no problems, no complications. I'm eating like 2 spoonfuls of like soup a day. Today I'm officially 2 weeks out of surgery, so today I can start eating pureed food. And I did have a couple spoons of tuna fish today and some potatoes. And that's going good. I've lost a total, I believe, as of last Friday, 69 pounds. My wife bought me a shirt yesterday, guys, and it's 2 sizes smaller than what I used to wear. So my update for you is pretty simple. So far, I can say that the risk has been worth it. I know it's a long haul. It's about a lifestyle change. It's not a magic pill. There's a lot of things in my life I got to fix. I joined the gym. And all I can say is that follow my journey, see how I do, hold me accountable, and hopefully I'll be an inspiration for you to change your life and to make the things happen in your life that you need to happen. But my plan is, my goal is to be under 300 pounds by 12 months. My doctor's goal is for me to be at 280. I'm actually shooting for 250. I'm excited. It's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a tough journey, but it's going to be so worth it to be able to be there for my kids and for my God and for my church for a longer time, and to be able to invest in the things that I believe God wants me to do. In faith, I actually went out and got my passport because I believe that now I'm going to be able to do the things for God that I've always wanted to do but have been too big to do. So I'm praying for you. You keep praying for me. And I'm going to try to release at least 2 blogs a week about my journey and how I'm doing health-wise. And make sure to join the YouTube channel, press like, subscribe, share the video, and just keep up to date with what I'm doing, guys. God bless, peace out, and shalom.